It's Eanix up against Impact, and we're starting things off on Military Warehouse. And off the bat, Gentrix going to be the first one with the initial first strike.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one here straight away. As you can see, 3 members already of Eanix taking down Impact. Already did such a good job there. But still, the scores are very even. You can see a lot of snipes here and there, but sometimes when you have too many snipers, it's very easy to flank round for your opponent.
Would I be wrong saying this, but I felt like over the course of this event, we've seen more sniping action than we've seen over the course of like the last 4 weeks when we've been casting the weeklies.
I'd probably say it's more based on TDMs. We've seen a lot more TDMs in the last couple of series, and that's more based on the fact that, you know, you can bait Smith as much as you like going into the objective, but in those TDMs, you need a lot of sniper control. You need to try and get much damage done before you get taken down and get traded off there. But 2 for Goku of it, as you can see, great play from him. Still very close, but Corrupt gets 2 of his own there to make that comeback.
Well, he doesn't really have a way to heal anymore, so eventually he probably will fall. But switching back to the sniper to go for those long-range shots, and more importantly, get as much damage as you possibly can in for every life that you do have. I would actually love to see a stat like that, damage per life. Like average damage per life over time. That would be a really cool stat, because that really shows like who's really trying to maximize consistently every time they are alive. You see Gentrix flanking him from behind. Does get a nice little Blade Master onto Optimus, but not able to get more than that just yet. But then you see J-Master running directly into his crosshairs, comes out with the Avalanche, gets an elimination streak. And just like that, Impact take a big lead.
Yeah, Gentrix, as you know, got the highest KDA and KD by a mile out of all these players here, and he's really showing it today. 101 points there already, and we're only halfway through the game. Impact have a really strong start, and Eanix haven't really got much of an answer to this.
And he's also got one of the highest perfect aims, actually, across all the players here. If not the highest one, he's at 87 over the course of the season so far. So he's definitely a big standout player, and it's nice to have those on your teams. Having a player who can just really take control completely. But we haven't seen that happen just yet out of Impact. We do have a nice 50-point lead. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go here. I'm assuming from what we've seen today, we've had 1 TDM actually run out of time. The rest of it was, you know, into the normal points of the entire match. Well, I wonder how it's going to go this way, because Impact have a lead. They can play passive if they want to. They don't need to be aggressive anymore. But I think it's about setting a precedent over the course of the series, right? Showing no remorse, constantly going in and just eliminate them as often as you can.
Yeah, this first game, you've got to make a statement there, as you can see. But still looking right close. It's training back and forth, but Eanix can't do that. They need to try and train something here. But what I love from Venom and Thanos and a couple of those players, they're using that incinerator just due to the fact that they know that they're going back and forth, peeking, and if you get that 1 or 2 shots off, then, you know, the afterbirth could really affect them massively. And I spoke about it before, they get some great flanks in from Thanos. 3 of them already get taken down, trying to get that last one, which he almost does, but you saw Goku managed to help him there. It was very close, but it looks like Eanix making that slight comeback, closing the gap.
It was a 4-for-1 exchange, so it was a big lead for them. And they didn't take too much damage, actually, as well. So they're going to be relatively healthy to go into maintaining this kind of position now and keep continuing to close this distance. You can see 356 to 394, and Eanix ever so slightly getting closer and closer to actually taking the lead. And this would be the perfect time to do it. 70 points left to go for Impact to close out this first map. Eanix are in hot trail.
Yeah, so Gentrix there with a lovely double base, constantly pushing through. I don't know how he's getting away with so much. He's just doing so much damage work there, which is pretty crazy stuff from him. But we have to see how we go from here. We're going to see a little bit more passive plays. We can see some people, you know, some of the players who are quite weak, using that sniper to try and get as many trades as they can, but it's not being given the opportunity. And on a map like this, it's so easy to flank if you've got 1 or 2 snipers that, you know, it's not going to end well.
See Thanos trying to flank it from behind. Does take down Aerial, but it's not going to matter. Impact will take that first map. 501 points, and they will be now 1 step closer. The 4 steps they need to take home that $20,000 and claim the title. And more importantly, get to go to Cologne in July for the Gods of Boom next event, where Noble's already pre-qualified through.
Yeah, not a bad price indeed. Nice chunk of change to go with that Cologne place.
I know who's buying drinks tonight. Whoever wins the series.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got a few ideas. A couple of players may have to double in that with their chunk of change. I'm sure they don't mind. Actually, no, they probably will after we ask them and after what we order. We'll see later on.
Take your most expensive bottle of scotch.
Yeah, just
that'll be $20,000. They got it for me. Yeah, put on their tab.
Technically, they've not lost anything, but not gained anything either. So, in that purgatory thing in terms of prize money. So, yeah, I'm sure they won't mind.
And again, you can see Eanix's face. I mean, it was a close game, yes, but I think it's more just the pressure that's on them from the entire season. Like, these are 2 teams that have been battling it out for, what, I want to say a year practically?
Yeah.
Constantly in North America to be that best team. And this is their chance to finally do it. You know, you don't have to talk about being online like, oh, we had a ping advantage or whatever, or my phone was being slow today or something like that. No, you're playing with the exact same ping, the exact same devices. And if you win here, you could easily claim yourself to be the best team.
Yeah, that's right. The less excuses, the better here in that kind of circumstance in this offline environment. We know that with Eanix, they are known for being an offline team. We saw that from the Season 1 finals when they placed third, did such a great job there, and they want to continue that run. You know, managed to get their first grand final now here. And I mentioned it before, you know, offline, they're very, very good, but Impact Gaming, just that little bit better. But they are a mix of that hyped-up squad from the previous season, but what a massive change from this lineup in comparison to before.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be very happy to be in the grand finals, at a minimum of a second place. But to be honest, I don't think either of these teams will be truly happy unless they win. Let's be honest. You don't want to be second. You don't want to be like, the first runner-up. You want to be first place. You want to be the king of the castle, the god of boom. Even though this isn't a god of boom event just yet, it is right around the corner. We'll have a chance when we do get to the Lanxess Arena coming up in July. This is where it all starts. And what I like about this is that you compare, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but compare it to teams like Noble, right, who did win a Gods Boom event in Katowice. But they've even said to us, like, yeah, we're not really trying to get to Texas. We're not really trying to get to Brazil. We're just focused on the next Gods of Boom event. And I feel like that's kind of a bad mindset to have. But then you have teams like Impact and Eanix who are playing week in, week out, playing the big events, the offline events. They're playing consistently throughout the weeks. They're currently in the top 2 placings to go to Brazil. These are teams who are on the grind. And these are the teams who have that desire and have that hunger, more importantly, to be the best.
Yeah, the tier list in comparison to the NA side of things, I know we've got Simplicity and Only Nation just a little bit behind, but they stand out so well, and they are looking to qualify for that LATAM placement as well, like you mentioned earlier. But the good thing about this is the fact that the diversity we'll have for the next Gods of Boom event, because after this, we're going to have a guaranteed at least one North American team heading over.
That's true. So we got a European, we got a North American, maybe we'll have a Latin American as we get into Brazil, maybe, in just over a month's time. I would love to see a Southeast Asian team as well there. I wonder what's going to happen actually for the 4 slots. Actually, I'm not sure. There's got to be there can't be 3 teams at the Gods of Boom event. There's got to be at least 4 then, right?
I think the last one's a direct invite, so that's when we'll find out. Yeah, so that's going to be
So
very
you're saying we
interesting.
technically could put together a team and potentially get that invite?
That is absolutely right, mate.
But then who would be casting it?
We can cast and play.
I've tried that before.
Instead of play-by-play, cast and play.
You see me play, and you see how bad I am. Imagine me having to do another job on top of that.
Yeah,
I'll probably be as bad as Jackie.
Maybe you struggle a little bit, but I'm not seeing you on this game. You could be a miracle worker for what I know here. And as you can see there, map number 2, Atrium, one of the most aggressive objective game types here, especially with that B point being a bit of a pain in terms of contesting it and trying to grab it there. So we'll have to see how we go from there, going into map number 2, and how these start strategies work out.
I feel like this is also the most snowbally map out of the entire pool. Like, we've seen teams just like, what, get 1,200 to like 400 before? We actually, I think the first time we cast together in the Winter Series, we had that happen. Yeah,
no, you're right, because that was really weird, because you never see anything like that. And what a change it's going to make now. And as you can see here, Impact Gaming already with a fantastic lead going into it, with over 120 points straight off the bat.
Now the question is, can they maintain this kind of lead, or can they continue to grow it? More importantly, as you see, they're just about to continue this doubling. You can see Impact now going to be losing control of B in just a second. They're actually taking C back in the meantime. And the thing is, what makes it so different to other control point maps is the different levels of verticality you have to fight with. Typically in the control maps, you just have them spaced around the map, and you just are all on the same level, so maybe go underground, like into a basement, like you saw in the farming complex. But here, there's areas above you, and the middle area is so open, you can be shot from so many different angles that once you have it, it's kind of really hard to lose it unless you get wiped, right?
No, you're right, because on top of that as well, that B point, both teams' spawn grid is right in front of it, which is why I said before, it's very hard to try and contest that. But you saw the Optimus with a lovely triple there to try to take down Impact, to try and make it some kind of comeback here. But look at the score, still around 200. But Captain, we see some weird things in my time, in our time, especially in this game. They could definitely make a comeback, but we really need to turn things up now.
It's possible, but again, this is a very hard map to do so. But Eanix, I will not count them out just yet. It is 700 currently to 400, to about 500. So about a 200-point difference between the two teams. Time is definitely not going to be a factor here, but you can see Corrupt gets another elimination himself. Ariel trying to hold on towards point, and they're actually going to be able to turn the point around, and they will trade 1-for-1 there, but Thanos takes it from behind, and Gentrix will be there to get the return elimination on top of that. So they will be able to maintain control of the middle point, or at least I would imagine so. But if anyways, they do have control of A at the moment. They do don't have C, so B and C can be in the hands of the red side of Eanix, and they have a lot of points to really make up for here. Well, they had B. That's how quick this map can be. That's how quick things can turn. It's just in the little same sentence I was saying, if they had B, they lost it.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, especially if you only got 2 points on the board against A or B. Then in that kind of circumstance, if you're trading, that's fine if you're the winning team with those 2 points. But if you're on the losing team with only 1 point and you're trading, that's awful, and you've got to really change things up here. But Impact Gaming, as time goes on, they're increasing their lead more and more. Now a 300 gap, and I feel like now, Jace, it's a waiver from here.
I think so as well. 1200 is most certainly going to be hit. Just if they go off eliminations, even if they lost every point, I think they would 100% have it. And there you go. Impact take the 2-0 lead in a very quick fashion, and are 2 away, taking home the title.
Yeah, very dominant fashion here, looking very comfortable. You can see there earlier, Matt had a little bit of a break, discussing exactly how they want to do. But it's very crazy how things are going on now. It seems like Eanix are not the same team we saw earlier. And don't get me wrong, they almost struggled to win that series against the mixed team of Forza.
Sure.
But now with Impact Gaming, they're showing why they're so good in those online cups previously, leading up to Texas.
So, Lethal, one thing I have to bring up is that we have TDM as the first map, then we have 2 controls, another TDM, another control, and then 2 King of the Hills. We've had TDM and control already so far underway, and Impact have taken it both. The next 2 maps is control and TDM again. Do you think we're going to see a change here for Eanix? I mean, we're going to have to, right? If they want to have a chance to contend for the title, they have to figure out what's going wrong and fix it. But I'm a little bit worried for just the map types we have coming up and how the games have gone so far.
Yeah, TDMs can be a little bit of a coin flip, you know, it can be very 50-50, it's very situational, will determine the circumstance of exactly what can happen each game, because anything can happen. With objective games, a lot more strategy involved, and, you know, with the tacticians on each team to figure out exactly how we're going to plan out each game type. But with TDM, a little bit of a struggle. You see, there's always a lot of stalemate situations, only on 1 or 2 of the maps, especially on maps like Skyscraper, but yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. It's the TDMs I'm a little bit worried about, because that's where Impact could potentially increase their lead.
Yeah, and you know, something that Optimus said when we were talking to him on the desk after the first match, I was mentioning about game types. He was saying, yeah, we're equally good at all types. But I feel like from what we've casted together, we've seen that some teams are better on these objective-based map modes, and some are better in just the fragging power, just the TDM style. So I don't know if I fully agree, but Optus obviously would know quite a bit more than me. But then again, when you're so intertwined within the match, it's hard to realize, you know, how things are kind of going. But the next 2 types, I almost feel like Impact is just going to have this one. I feel like they're going to be the next team in Gods of Boom. They're going to be taking them $20,000, and I'm sure that man right there on your screen might buy a nice little new pair of aviators.
Yeah, he looks very cool, no shades there. And Venom, he's always been that guy every event, being that cool dude. But
what do you think of the baby powder, by the way?
Oh yeah, we were talking about.
I never knew about that when we were casting the weeklies. When we come here, I'm like, what's that white powder on the desk? And then you look at their thumbs, and obviously they've been, you know, rubbing it in there to make sure to not sweat, so you can make sure to have full control of everything.
Yeah, that's a bit of an interesting one. Yeah, because obviously when the screen gets a little bit sweaty here, there, and everywhere, then it's one of those situations where, you know, your aim could go a little bit off and all the bits and pieces, like you would hold a controller, or if you're holding a mouse, in example. So I can understand why they're using that. Like me personally, I'd rather use a tea towel, or, you know, just a normal towel. I should just say not a tea towel. But yeah,
I have
it's
no
just
idea
a
what
bit
a
of
tea towel is.
A tea towel is what you use to dry your dishes with.
Why is it called a tea towel when it's called a towel?
It's UK.
Yeah,
we have no explanation for it.
That was minted. No, definitely UK has a whole own vocabulary to itself. I believe all players are getting ready up here. I think we're just going to give it a quick second to sort some things out to make sure we can kick this one off here. But of course, we should mention, you know, we're not done just yet after this. Next week we have another weekly action for the spring series. You guys can still sign up and participate with the summer series right around the corner. You don't have a chance to qualify for spring anymore for Brazil, but coming into summer, oh, a little heart in there. Coming into summer, there is a chance. Just screw the heart.
There's no love, man.
Yeah, no love at all. But coming into summer, like, there is a chance you can get together, you know, a couple of friends. You can play yourself. You can, you know, participate over the Play.ESL Gaming website. Just look for Guns of Boom. You can sign up and potentially be the new Unbreakable, the team that came out of nowhere in January and made their way here. You could be a team participating in the next major event.
You took the words right out of my mouth there. I was going to mention Unbreakables just then as you said that, but now I'm going into space. But yeah, with Unbreakables, it's like you mentioned before with Season 2, came absolutely out of nowhere. There was no background from them. We didn't know exactly what to expect. And they're here in Texas for the first Pro Series. And, you know, they will try and get to LATAM as they head back. but it's very tough because we know that EU region point-wise is very close, and it's anyone's to get in that kind of retrospect. But you're absolutely right. Any team can compete. Any team can make it here to these events to try and prove themselves. They are one of the best teams in the world at Guns of Boom.
I actually can't wait till we get to Brazil for that event, just to see another, like potentially a second Latin American team participating. So we talked about the region before and how strong and how dominant they become in esports over the last few years when the infrastructure's been built up and they've been able to become more universal across the globe. I guarantee there's a second team in Latin America waiting for that chance that could surprise us, could beat the likes of Impact or Eanix and really come out, you know, the gates running. And obviously the fans out there are amazing. The fans here in the house are even better. I swear they're cheering. They're cheering when they heard that. I can hear it from here, I swear. But you know, obviously the fans are a big aspect of it, and all the players love to hear you rooting for them. But I believe we should be getting in. We'll be heading over to Farming Complex, another control in just a few seconds. Lethal, give me your honest answer.
It's
God's watching.
It's going to be very messy. It's one of those game types where, you know, the aggression is there. The flanks will be coming in left, right, and centre now. But we'll have to see if Eanix can at least come back from this. I have a feeling Impact will take it. They seem to be very, very strong on the objective. But as we said, that Gentrix straight away 3 down already for Eanix, and they really, that's not the best start you would like, especially on this map.
They went for a 2-2 split. Do you notice that 2 towards the middle of B, 2 towards A, and the players towards A had no contest, so what they did was they swung around towards the backside at an off angle that no one on Eanix was prepared for, and just decimated them. That was a fantastic little start, and again, when it comes to control, like early starts can give you early leads, but it's not going to guarantee you a map victory at all. Just see Eanix not fighting back, only down about 50 points.
Yeah, it's those kind of unorthodox plays with hard throws you are. You know, you may get 2-on-2 to go to 2 different points, or we have like all 3 or 4 members and then one kind of distract and bait out your opposition. But yeah, a little bit different. These start strategies are very interesting coming into this. We're seeing a lot more now going into the event because obviously they've been hiding their strategies leading up to Texas here. But as you can see now, Impact only a little bit ahead so far, only by 50 points now. But J-Master and Optimus trying to stop that, get some frags on the board. Thanos with another one, trying to get the final one to trying to finish things off and get a clean sweep. Not the case as Corrupt gets the trade.
Well, 50 points is continuing to grow now, up to about 70. They keep this pace up, they're looking fantastic. But Optimus with that great elimination onto Corrupt has helped close the lead. You can see the points ever so close. They're going to be coming in through the barn door, and they get mowed down through the barn door. As you can see, Gentrix able to get a Blade Master onto J-Master. But still in the meantime, 520 to 400. It's now linked into about 100 points. And this is getting really worrisome for Eanix and for all the Eanix fans out there. They are struggling here, and they need some sort of energy to get back into this.
Yeah, Gentrix said earlier that it's the fact that the great thing about his team is the fact that they've got an answer for everything, and it really makes you feel uncomfortable. It's just basically they've got an answer for any kind of strategy, any kind of movement, any kind of plays which the opposition makes it. But as you saw, they're all trying to flank all the way around here. They're trying to contest B again and see what they could do here. But Impact Game is still a 100-point difference. Does get that perfect aim there. And 2 down, Gentrix gets the trade. Tries to get the other one, but Goku must get a double of his own.
Impact seem to just be a step ahead. Eanix are just constantly responding. You saw they had 2 players towards the C position. Those 2 players immediately rotated off once they took it. In the meantime, Eanix sent 2 over there to contest it, but the 2 players were already gone. So they're just like ever so half step behind Impact, which has kind of been the story of how this series has been going.
Yeah, we just saw Aerial as well, just to add insult to injury. Got a triple there and a streak on top of that. And managed to take out Goku with Venom. Managed to get a trade again. And it's looking very bleak here. I don't know what Eanix can do. It's getting to the point now I'm feeling where it doesn't matter about map choice. Of course, there is a huge favour here and there with the advantage, but Impact Gaming, I feel like with them now, they don't actually care which map it is, with a 300-point lead. With 70 points to go. Yeah,
and now down to 40. That's how quickly this one's going. I think Eanix realized this map's going to be out of their hands, and Impact will now take their third. 1 left to go to be crowned the champions here of the Guns of Boom Pro Series Texas. And you see the 4 men on your screen who have been playing fantastic over the course of today. And Lethal, you can tell, I think they realize, yeah, we're 1 more, boys. Just 1 more.
1 more to take it home to get that qualification spot at Gods of Boom, and a nice chunk of change of $20,000 here. They can feel it, they know they can. Venom always does anyway, we know what he's like. And looking at it now, what can Eanix do? They have to do a reverse sweep against a very solid Impact, and I feel like they're playing really well because not just due to the fact that they've combined two really good teams from North America over in Season 1, but I think it added fuel to the fire where they didn't do too well at the Season 1 finals and then they're trying to make a statement here to say, we are the best team here in North America.
I think one thing that Eanix can do is that we see them responding appropriately. Like, again, like the 2 players went towards Sand Farming Complex, they responded sending 2 players there, but they were a little bit late. It seems like the pace of the game has been dictated for the most part by Impact. I feel like if they can dictate the pace, be the ones forcing Impact to react to them, then they could have that control they want. Then they could actually look forward to potentially taking the map and starting to get some momentum going into the rest of the series. But Impact, it seems like once they got that control of the pace, they just don't let go.
Yeah, they don't let go at all. Like I said, they're always one step ahead. They're always trying to figure out different ways. They've scrimmed quite a lot. I'm sure they've done their research on previous streams as well through the cups to figure out exactly what they're like, saving anything they can, the aces in the hole up their sleeve, and to see how they can do it from here. But a 4-0, if they manage, that's more than a statement. That's just complete dominance. And I'd be worried for any team going to that Gods of Boom event.
Yeah, and you can see the MVP of the last map we had, J Master, 175 points, and Ariel, 305, which is insane, considering that's a majority of the points that you need to obviously win in the round.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Contributing to 16 kills there. And it makes you wonder, like, what more can be done? For someone who was main slain in that game and did so much objective work, he's one of those all-round players. You know, normally when you do a lot of objective, we know with any FPS title that you do sacrifice that fragging ability, but he was doing both like it was his day job.
Well, it might be his day job. I mean, if you're taking him 20 grand, it might become your day job, you know?
Yeah.
Especially with the next events coming up and obviously the weeklies that you can win. I think there's about, what, 400 USD up for the weeklies? Something about that?
Yeah.
Pretty close to it, so that's a lot of extra money to win it in your pocket. I know a lot of these guys have full-time jobs as well. I was talking to Stavi earlier, and he was saying he's a police officer.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a police officer. So obviously that's like his main thing, and he does this on the side. I wonder, you know, if we get to the point where teams can do this full-time, how much better will the teams get? But obviously coming into the big events, that's your time to boot camp. And you know what? This potentially could be our final map here, Lethal.
It could be here. You know, he was a police officer. He's going to see if he's above the law in this potential final map going into this. And it will be a massive statement here as we go into it now.
Okay, so Impact Gaming need one more to close this out. But they have to wait a little bit longer, as you can see. Just a quick little restart could be coming through in a few seconds. I think that, you know, maybe it's a freeze-out tactic by Eanix. No, there's obviously some problems going on, so take a quick second. I think the thing is, with how focused they are, I think Impact realized, yeah, we got this. We got this in the bag. But I want to see Eanix call it back. Like, how great of a story would it be for them to win this after being down 3-0?
I don't want to offend him in any way, but it will be kind of like, not a miracle, but more of a Cinderella story. To get a reverse sweep 4-3, you know, how many tournaments have we seen? And the odd occasion here and there, it has happened, you know, like being able to reset the mentality, knowing you're 3-0 down, it's very difficult to try and get yourself hyped up again to go into the rest of the series. But it is possible. I don't know if the first 3 game times wasn't their cup of tea, but we'll find out going into this 4th map. But it's old factory, it's a TDM, it can be a bit of a coin flip here and there, depending on how well they control. So we'll have to see how it goes from there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is they have to go through a TDM and another control. So they have to somehow win 2 maps in a row on the types they've been unable to do so far. But if they can make it there, King of the Hill will be coming, and King of the Hill is an opportunity for them to really fight back, really get that chance to take home the prize, take home the money, take home the trophy, and obviously the respect from the opposing team from Impact.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes from there. There's going to be a lot of discussion with the Eanix team to see exactly how they're going to come back from this. There is potential. We've seen it before. In the previous series, Eanix managed to come back and did take that last series 3-2, but this is just another story, just on another level. I feel like this Impact team are just on another tier bracket, just in general.
It's not like they've been fighting, you know, map here, map there, map, you know, back and forth. There's just been a consistent landslide for Impact, and I mean, I want to see the comeback, but if I'm going to be realistic, it doesn't seem like Eanix has a chance. But of course, just as I said that, the commentator's curse will probably happen, and I'll probably look like a massive idiot, but I'll take that if it means we're going to go full 7 maps. Yeah,
I'll take it any day of the week. Like you said, that is a story to behold there if they do manage to come out. So we're going to have to see if Impact do manage to close this out 4-0, or if Eanix can make a start of a good comeback here.
Well, here we go, kicking things off. As I mentioned before, TDM 0 eliminations so far, as I think both teams are playing a little bit careful here to make sure to not get caught off guard and not be that first one to go down. And you can already see just how close and grouped up they're trying to be, trying to force a couple of odd angles. You can see Thanos towards the high ground here, trying to look for another shot. You just see J-Master get that first strike onto Aerial, so they get the initial lead, but can they maintain it? That's what they're going to need to see and need to have happen here.
Yeah, that was quite a long time. The first strike was actually after the 4:30 minute mark. So it was a bit of a surprise there considering the circumstance. We normally it's within 10 seconds, but after 30 seconds, that is crazy stuff. And as you saw there, Thanos must get damage done there, but Aerial and Venom get frags of their own. Thanos just told you what they can. I do love those little individual battles, but Thanos does manage to take him down in the end. And Eanix in the lead so far.
Just more of that perfect like read into it, just bouncing back and forth, always catching. He wasn't really taking much damage back either, so he was getting unreturned damage, which really helped. And as we talked about Eanix having the lead, Impact has quickly overtaken them at 127 points. And if I'm Impact here, I don't want to win off time. I want to win off of points. I want to close this out with a strong ending. And Thanos, unfortunately, going to miss that shot. So now actually peeking around the corner for a second. He's going to connect with 3,100 damage, but Corrupt will take him out of the fight.
I do like some of those strategies as well, where when you get one player that's actually quite weak, he decides to sit back and snipe, which is completely understandable in that circumstances, because you want someone to be that human shield to try and take the damage, take the bait, what they can, and not give away too many easy deaths. Whilst you heal up just that little bit, but as you saw there, Venom, lovely elimination streak from him. To add things further to the scoreline of Impact Gaming, as you see, there's 70-point now difference. Corrupt just adding salt to the wounds there. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle bus here.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can overcome that bus, maybe take it into 6th gear as they're going to need to. Impact's lead's not massive, but again, it is TDM, and that lead can be quite deceiving with how small it is at the moment. 50 points is quite a bit. See if they can continue this pace. As you see, Goku Javier going to be coming around the corner. Corrupt's not going to spot him out, but it will be well, it won't even be a 1-for-1 trade, actually. Gentrix going to come up big with an elimination onto Thanos. Just like that, Impact almost have a 100-point lead.
I don't know what to say, really. It's just Impact were right. It's got to a kind of point now where they're so unorthodox that you can't really find Eanix to find an answer to trying to break them at this point. They're closing the gap just a little bit. Venom with really good control there, as you can see, getting as much damage done as possible with the rest of the team. With that Incinerator, it's very good, especially on any game time like with TDM, where you get people peeking quite a lot, but you get that afterburn effect to try and pressure them just that little bit further now. But 34 points between both teams. Thanos trying to do what he can to get all the damage done. Sadly, he does miss, but misses the last shot and literally managed to take him down. Gentry get to trade on both, actually, and Aerial and Corrupt, and that's all 4 down now for the team. This is looking very bleak for Eanix here.
Less than 2 minutes left to go. Less than 100 points separate these two teams. Eanix with the respawns, the full HP, the full equipment to be using. Venom on the high ground, I think trying to spot them out. Thanos, unfortunately, is going to miss that shot. Be able to connect, and they're going to need to. They're going to need to connect onto everything and be able to get the advantages on these trades, but it doesn't seem to be working. Impact are just consistently getting these elims. The kill feed is all red so far.
And that's one of the most annoying things, especially when you've got the lead in TDM. When those final seconds on the clock go down, as the losing side, you're the one who has to try and put the pressure on in some way. And you can just retreat and play defensive and get first shot every single time round, but it might not matter too much here. An 80-point gap with 1:10 left. Eanix need to do something here, or this could be all but over. I
like Venom's position as well, just kind of on the high guard, just kind of give information to his team, taking some damage over time as well. The thing is, he's playing safe. Like, he goes for a shot, backs away, so he doesn't take too much damage. Gentrix gets a double limb himself on Optimus and J-Master. Now, less than 100 points left to go. Less than 1 minute left to go on the clock. And now about 50 left. Gentrix with a triple elimination might have just solidified their victory here. Impact, 50 points to go. Can they close it out?
Yeah, that triple and a streak could have ended things there, especially with the morale of Eanix. 100-point difference. I'm not sure what Eanix can do here. They're closing the gap just a little bit more, but I don't think it's going to work here, Jace. 30 seconds left, and we could be seeing Impact Gaming taking this.
I think they're going to be able to here. 512, and they've done it! Impact Gaming have not lost a single map of this course this entire tournament, and they take the grand finals in a 4-0 fashion. They're your champions of the Guns of Boom Pro Series Texas.
Impact Gaming really strong there from the beginning of the day. And they said it before, I spoke to them, a couple of them yesterday. They said they were extremely confident coming into this. They put in all the time, the practice, the effort, everything they can, and they've really proved themselves. And I want to say they haven't dropped a map throughout the whole day.
Yeah, they did not. They went a 3-0 earlier on in their first match, then pulled off the 4-0 here in the finals, and what a way to do it. What a way to solidify yourself to be the #1 team in North America and pretty much guarantee yourself a spot now into the event coming up in Brazil for the next Pro Series. Now my question to them is, can they do it back-to-back?
That will be an interesting one to see how things go. It might be back-to-back, but we will find out in that Latin Pro Series as well. Congratulations to Eanix, they did a great job. Fantastic Game 5 series earlier, as you saw, but maybe the stamina was all but lost. Yeah, they had to play 3 full matches today, 2 best-of-5s and a best-of-7. They came far, but unfortunately it came to a close at the very end, but you can definitely be happy and proud about that as they get 10 grand. But that's it.
Yes, come, this is your trophy. Love it, pick it up, handle it, yes! Your champions of the Guns of Boom Pro Series Texas! Put it up, guys, we got some fun noise for y'all. Oh my goodness. Well, first I've got to ask you, Venom, how did the trophy taste?
Oh, it was kisses really nicely, actually.
Yeah? Yeah? Is there going to be somebody?
All you guys.
You want to give a little shout out?
Shout out to everyone who came out here and supported us. Thank you so much. Means a lot. USA, baby. Let's get it.
It's all right. Take it in. Hey, can I be like the 5th member? Look at this. Remember, I told Eanix I might sub in, but I think we fit, right? The red and black. We got this. I'm already an honorary member. All right, you guys are the first NA champions of a Guns of Boom live event. Please, give me the feels right now.
A lot of emotions.
I don't believe you though.
A lot of emotions, baby. Let's get it. Nah, yeah, it's amazing. We super confident coming here. You've seen us just go, not losing, dropping the map this event. That's a statement right there. It's a statement for all the other teams that we're going to play in the future.
I mean, what's really cool is that you guys actually were in the same tournament with the Season 1 finals with Eanix, but you never fought against them. You've been playing a lot against them online. This was your first time. What did you apply from your online play to be able to come in today and be totally dominant over Eanix?
First of all, I just want to say shout out to Eanix, man. They're great guys, dude. We always play with them. We're always helping each other up, helping each other out, trying to grow this NA scene. So shout outs to Eanix. Well played. But yeah, we prepared very well. We played him so many times, like you said, game after game, final after final. So, it was just, we just did the same thing we've been doing, this winter challenge, or no, from winters to spring challenges, we just continue to do the same thing and dominate.
I know, but that's a lot of what's been said is that now that we're offline, there's no issues with lag or different devices. You're all playing on a very even playing field, and now you've come out showing not only are you dominant online, but you're also dominant offline.
Yeah, definitely online and in the LAN environment, super different. We're not at home comfortable and but we had that mindset. We're just like, let's just play like we're at home, let's get comfortable. And as you see, when we get comfortable, it's dangerous for any opponent.
Oh dang, well you guys are going to the Gods of Boom tournament in Cologne. Congratulations once again, you guys. Right here, give it up for your champions. All right, yeah, and then to close it out, we're gonna actually just kick it to a quick video for more highlights, more hype. Let's go show them what we got.